It's time for Saint Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.
Hello and welcome to Saint Lucia Magazine. This segment reviews government developments across healthcare, education, economics, infrastructure, and social welfare sectors each month. I am Niva Logist. As we look back at the month of September, we review what the government has done to bring about positive change and progress for the citizens. Our GIS team and the communication units of the various ministries in the public service have been gathering stories and highlights of the government's initiatives and projects. Here are a few of them we're excited to share. At the top of this review segment, the big story. The Government of Saint Lucia is nearing its goal to relocate St. Jude Hospital operations from the George Odlum National Stadium to the original construction site to restore dignity to the delivery of essential medical care and secondary health services in the south of the island. On September 6, 2023, the Prime Minister and government stakeholders received a first-hand progress report on the ongoing St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project. More in this report from Rihani Isidore.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a total transformation from how it was before. Yes. Yeah. This is totally different now. So you can see the change, how it was there before and how it is now.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre received a first-hand progress report on the ongoing St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project during a recent visit to the original Phase 1 construction site on September 6.
This is how the condition was, and as you walk along, you can take a look at the floor, you can take a look at the walls, how there is a drastic change that has happened from to now. As it is, if I have to put it in a nutshell, we are ready to the MEP works. So what is mechanical, electrical and plumbing works, we have brought it up to that stage, and after that will be flooring and ceilings.
Nearing the 12th-month mark since construction works resumed in 2022, the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project has advanced to the mechanical, electrical and plumbing or MEP phase. Currently, construction is moving at steady pace and in line with Prime Minister Pierre's goal to have the Phase 1 site ready for use in the shortest possible time.
So basically all the walls, your walls are complete, your flooring is complete?
Yes, walls are complete, all the flooring are complete. We are at a stage where we can move with our mechanical, electrical and plumbing works. And we could do other medical gas pipeline system and the specialized services that are required for the hospital.
Honorable Philip J. Pierre is the first Prime Minister to secure financing for the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project.
The one difference between now and the past is that the hospital was being constructed without adequate financing in place. It's a matter of you bill as you get money.
The Saudi Fund for Development has committed 200 million EC dollars to the Government of Saint Lucia to finance the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project and rehabilitate the George Odlum National Stadium.
Well, in terms of financing, as you're aware, recently we signed an agreement with the Saudi's funding agency for, I think, just a little over $200 million. Most of that will be used for completing most of the project here and the balance towards the stadium. Notwithstanding that, we have about 5 buildings that we are already working on, and that will be financed from local funding. The view is to try to get the facility back on track within the shortest space of time. I mean, you would appreciate what the country has been through, the people of Saint Lucia, in terms of health services in the south of the island. So we are working assiduously in trying to get the project completed as soon as possible.
We have the financing in place, so we are not struggling to find money. We have the financing in place to complete the hospital and to rehabilitate the stadium, so we can give it back to the Ministry of Sports, we can give it back to the sports people in St. Lucia. We have that in place and we have a plan, and I am very confident that with the financing in place and with the progress we have made thus far, that we can complete St. Jude Hospital. I can't give you a definite date, but once the final contract is issued, I would say a year to 18 months from that date, we should be at the hospital.
The Phase 1 site of the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project was left idle for more than 5 years.
Now it was blocked off.
Yeah, this was before.
Some of the things, like, I don't know why this damage was done, but
It's damaged.
so we had to rectify that.
Just to make sure they went in the new building.
What I have seen so far looks like a major transformation, because when I first visited here, I almost broke in tears because it looked like a place that had been abandoned for decades. And this is my third visit to the St. Jude Hospital site, and I'm very pleased with the pace at which things are moving.
When I first visited earlier in the term of the government, I saw what appeared to be almost wreckage. But quite a bit has happened. We have seen the cleanup of the place. We have seen the repairs done to walls and flooring, the roofs, the repairs done there. And we can see a state of readiness. And while one may think, wow, this is a way distance to go, what I'm seeing is really a matter of finishing.
I could remember when I was part of the team that came here the first time to look at the state of the hospital, and I could remember I did not say anything publicly, but I was deeply saddened as to what I saw.
So this is where it was closed off. Now we had to cut this open back again to enter into the west wing.
Why just closed off?
I think that was a part of old something, we're not sure. That is why few of the damages that have occurred.
That had to be part of the box.
Yeah. So then we had to cut it open, and as I told you, there were some damages also that we had to rectify. That was
so they block it off and mash up that one. Basically.
Yeah, there is one piece that was damaged, so we had to rectify that.
Preparatory works on the Phase 1 site officially resumed last November.
Oh, wow, that's a big change, man. That's
Yes,
like
there is a big change from this.
So you're going to give my hospital, Josie?
Yes, so we did. When we did the one in Tommy.
Hospital?
Yes, we will definitely. It will be done. I am sure.
If you give my hospital, you're not trouble.
No. We'll definitely give it to you. We would not. Mr. Renu would not have started it if he could not finish it.
Please don't give my hospital. You're in a lot of trouble with me.
When he gave instruction, finish it before everything March.
Mr. Renu would not have.
So you give my hospital in March?
Yeah, this is finish in March.
So that is near.
The contractor has since made considerable progress and has primed the Phase 1 buildings for the remaining phases of internal works.
You can see how
That's how it was before.
Yeah. See how.
The walls, the flooring.
And now you could see the transformation.
Friends.
So a lot of work has been done from that.
Translate this to the construction of a regular house. So the structure is where are we now in relation to your house? Are we working in the kitchen, in the bathroom? Where are we?
Okay, well, basically you'd have started with the foundation. The floor, etc. You go up with your beams, your pillars, beams, ring beam. You have the roof, and then you move on the internal, and you begin to do the work on the internal. The ceiling, everything is there. You've put in all the necessary structure for the ceiling. The ceiling needs to go in, lighting, and then we're now speaking about equipment, furniture, refrigerator, chairs, all of these sort of beds, you need to put in. So where we are now is that the house, the physical structure, what I call the heavy lifting has been done, and what you need to do is to clad it, put the cosmetics on. So at least now you can complement the physical with what I call the facial.
Prime Minister Pierre's government has acquired the financing to pursue the final construction phases of the St. Jude Hospital reconstruction project and to secure the recommended medical equipment, hospital furniture and fixtures, security systems and other related needs to fully operationalize the St. Jude Hospital at the Phase 1 site.
These people, you know what they should do? Try and cut that off and then they should just let surgical burn out already. Concentrate on trying to save in the other bit of the hospital.
On the night of September 9th, 2009, a fire gutted the surgical wing and totally destroyed the pediatric ward of the St. Jude Hospital.
I found myself in the dead of night following the announcement or the call that St. Jude was on fire. I was down here immediately, and within 24 hours we were able and we needed to take some very critical action, decisions as to rehousing the patients and putting things in place and moving a functional facility into a stadium. First it was a school, and then within days we were able to settle, let's go into the stadium. So it was quick action, we got off the ground, and over the years, while I can track back and say, well, listen, I was there at the time, this is what happened. There were disappointments. There were disappointments on a project that I personally felt could have continued and completed before this government came into office. Today, what I'm seeing is proactivity on the part of the government to get things going, and I'm beginning to feel a lot better in that I'm seeing activities taking place, and we going back to what we know as the St. Jude Hospital.
Guided by the technical expertise of a diverse group of professionals, the roadmap to completion is plotted. Opening day is within reach.
You could see how the walls were, there was a lot of work that need to be done here. You could see that we have done cleanup, then we have even done the special treatments to make sure that the hospital is safe and there will not be any problem for the future. So even before we started to do any works, we have taken care of to remove all the problems that we had encountered because the building was closed for a few years, so we took care of them.
I am convinced that we will have a St. Jude Hospital operating within the not too distant future. So on behalf of the people of Soufrière-Fauchesjacques who have been using this facility and missing it, and most times have to be housed at the George Odlum Stadium, I know we are waiting eagerly for the completion of this hospital.
I think we are closer to finishing than the structures reflect. You would appreciate that the bulk of the work that is required, predominantly for the East Wing and the surgical ward, would be the completion of the MEPs, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and then to put in your ceiling to ensure that your medical gases are in order. The structures are essentially completed. So we believe that the remainder of the works that is required are not that many, and if we have the right personnel on site, that it should not be long before we have completed them.
The transformation is taking place, and I am very confident that this hospital will be a state-of-the-art. It will be an envy for St. Lucia and even in the region.
Prime Minister Pierre's government is on course to restore dignity to the delivery of essential medical care and secondary health services in the island's south and reinforce St. Lucia's public health infrastructure.
In another of our big stories, the St. Lucian government stands ready to assist the business community with the implementation of the zero VAT policy. Vigil Leonti reports.
The Saint Lucian government, through the Ministry of Commerce, is seeking a collaborative approach with the business community to implementing the zero VAT policy, a policy to remove 12.5% VAT tax on select commodities took effect on August 2, 2023. However, the implementation of the policy is not going as smoothly as the ministry had planned. The Minister for Commerce, Manufacturing, Business Development, Cooperatives and Consumer Affairs, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, says her ministry stands ready to guide the business community with implementation and enforcement of the zero VAT policy.
The Ministry of Commerce was charged with the responsibility to monitor the administration and effectiveness of these measures, to provide guidance to business community, to facilitate compliance and ensure consumers reap the benefit of the VAT reduction. I wish to present a timely report to the Parliament of Saint Lucia based on our findings since the introduction of the zero-rated VAT. Mr. Speaker, we fully anticipated that a 12.5% reduction aimed at improving consumer spending power would have almost immediately been reflected in the reduced cost of these supplies, once all other factors remained constant, including the cost of importing these goods and related inputs. I also made it clear in subsequent interviews with the local media that the government would set about the implementation and enforcement of this new measure collaboratively. The olive branch have been extended. I emphasize that we were not setting any stage for war with the business community.
Business owners, through the Chamber of Commerce, have raised several concerns with the new tax measure. Among them are uncertainties regarding old and new stock and which is eligible for the removal of the tax.
For retailers that are not VAT registered, as indicated earlier, the reduction should be seen when they purchase new stock from August the 2nd, as the VAT will be reduced to zero by the wholesaler and the suggested retail price will be lower. Again, it is worth noting that even among the compliant businesses, the full 12.5% reduction has not been passed on to the consumer.
In discussion with the Commerce Ministry, the Chamber of Commerce have expressed the view that there should be a price differential on sanitary products for teenagers and those for wider use. The Chamber is expected to present to government its proposal on the sale of sanitary products. A VAT monitoring committee tackling pertinent information has been formed. It's chaired by the Director of Consumer Affairs and includes representatives from the Inland Revenue Department, Customs and Excise, and the Statistics Department.
The Government of Saint Lucia will commit EC $3.1 million in grant funds from Taiwan towards building capacity and enhancing efficiency in agri-processing, juvenile reform, judicial administration, and social development projects. Rihanna Isidore tells us more.
The Government of Saint Lucia has received EC $3.1 million in grant funding from the Republic of China on Taiwan to support 6 bilateral projects.
I'm pleased to be here today on behalf of the Government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, as we are shaping a future that shines brightly for the people of Saint Lucia through delivering funding which supporting 6 projects aiming at improving the well-being of the citizens. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ministry of External Affairs and Ministry of Economic Development for the facilitation and cooperation.
EC $348,200 has been allocated to undertake technical and civil works on the George Charles Secondary School plant, which will house a new juvenile rehabilitation center. Some of the funding will also be used to support inmate rehabilitation programs at the Border Lake Correctional Facility to reduce recidivism and equip inmates with commercial skills for successful reintegration into society. $585,000 has been committed to rehabilitating and expanding the pig and poultry pens and abattoir at the Border Lake Correctional Facility. About $97,599 will be invested in the Judicial Enforcement Management Systems, or GEMS, to improve administrative efficiency and case management in the 2nd District Court. $387,000 will go towards enhancing capacity in the land registry by way of a land registry vault expansion rehabilitation project. Part of the Taiwanese grant will also be used to mechanize St. Lucia's agricultural sector. About $450,000 has been allocated for the procurement of tillage equipment and to fund capacity building programs. Another $1.3 million will be spent to integrate renewable energy at 4 local agro-processing facilities to improve energy efficiency and reduce energy costs.
We're going to be receiving grants of $3.172799 million for a range of projects. And again, it speaks to the ethos and the philosophy of the government, because these monies are going to be used for the development of our social infrastructure and the development of our economic infrastructure and the development of our service providing.
Office of the Prime Minister.
You're watching St. Lucia Magazine on the National Television Network. When we come back in the recap segue, we take a look at the launch of Tourism Week, cooperation on youth development between traditional allies, and the Upton Garden Girls Center takes stock of its operations.
Ministre agricole la collaboration avec Regional Fondation Soufouyaga présenté Festival Kako Ikaime Show 15 octobre au Trapot Soufouya Kaini Yanlo Produit Kako from 10h matin pour 7h au soir. Festival Kako c'est pour toute famille. 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 Bagay lagay ho, bagay lagay show. Festival Kako. There will be lots of entertainment. Manasa, Misha, Avot Service, Uletete, Invader, Manchas, Prado, T-Blacks, Alpha, Imran Nadi, Ezra, and DYP. There will be lots to eat and drink. Special appearance by legendary artist Jashim, Police Mutemon Jimmy, Pama Jessa, Saho, Baila Show, Festival Kako.
Welcome back, and now the recap segment. World Tourism Day is observed annually on September 27th. This year, the Ministry of Tourism marked the observance with a week of activities to include a tourism policy roundtable discussion, an address to the nation by the Minister for Tourism, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, and a culinary showdown, seasoned and unseasoned. Tourism Week focused attention on improving the tourism product to make it more environmentally friendly. The official launch for World Tourism Day was held on Thursday, 7th September, with a panel discussion featuring officials from the Ministry of Tourism. During the proceedings, the Minister for Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, brought attention to 2 tourism awards bestowed upon the island earlier this year, the pinnacle being the coveted title of Caribbean's Leading Nature Destination. Referencing the accolades, the minister spoke to the growing industry and the ministry's focus on environmental preservation.
I have on the table with me 2 very magnificent awards, the World Travel Awards. And just, well, at least they're free, but they're 2 relevant because one is for the Caribbean Leading Destination for the nature tourism, leading destination for nature, and the other one for adventure. The third one is for honeymoon, so we can put that one aside for now. But we haven't won 2 awards, one for adventure and one for nature. Immediately tells you of the connection that Saint Lucia has to the environment and to sustainable development. So when now one speaks of green investments, is a call to tourism to say tourism is growing as fast as anything else or faster than anything else. But as you expand, make sure the investments that is leading the expansion is consistent with a recognition of the impact on the environment, the need for us to be reflective of having investments that can ensure that tourism is sustainable.
Immediately following the launch, a tourism policy roundtable discussion was held at Harbour Club, where the tourism minister spoke about the importance of tourism being inclusive.
We have advocated very clearly that we want a tourism industry that centers around people. And again, the theme speaks of World Tourism Day, green investments for people, for planet, for prosperity. And we believe that if our people in Saint Lucia, our citizens, can see that they are benefiting from tourism, that tourism is not just for some, but for all. And we speak about tourism being the driver of the economic development of this country, that the more people we can get benefiting from it, it means it will be more acceptable by our people and therefore become more sustainable. If people are left out and they become cynical of tourism, if they see tourism as something which is being imposed on them, it's something for foreigners. It is foreigners coming building big hotels on our beaches, taking our beaches away from us, and you cannot even go on the beach anymore. Our people could easily become very cynical towards tourism. When we speak of community tourism as a clearly stated policy of this government, how can you speak of a community tourism and expect communities to be welcoming of individuals if they cannot see that they'll benefit from it?
In an effort to publicize the industry's drive to utilize more clean energy, the ministry aims to facilitate a calendar of activities to commemorate Tourism Week from September 24th to the 30th. Activities include a church service, Community Tourism Day, an official observance to be held within the constituency of Mikud, a tourism policy roundtable, a culinary showdown, and Blazing Blue, where the public is encouraged to wear the official color for World Tourism Day, blue. The theme for World Tourism Day 2023 is Tourism and Green Investments. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo Geist. Following the launch of the Youth Economy Agency in 2022, St. Lucia and Taiwan have forged another bilateral collaboration, this time to establish the Youth Forum. The Youth Forum advances the mandates of the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports by facilitating capacity-building initiatives and technical cooperation between St. Lucia and Taiwan on youth development. Riani Isidore reports.
The Government of Saint Lucia, led by Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, and with continuing support from the Republic of China on Taiwan, has successfully carved out a unique economic space exclusively for the development of the island's youth.
The youth economy was not intended to be the same thing, doing the same thing over. The same situation, many forms, many this and that, many references. It was not considered to be that. It had to be flexible, it had to be agile, and it had to create opportunity for young people. And it has a philosophical underpinning. It's not just a place to go and do business. It has a philosophy. It's based on an ideology, a philosophy that says that you must create opportunity. That is the philosophy.
Following the successful launch of Prime Minister Pierre's pioneering Youth Economy Agency in 2022, St. Lucia and Taiwan have forged another bilateral collaboration to establish the Youth Forum.
As we all know, youth economy is a critical and inspiring manifesto pledge of Honorable Prime Minister's late administration to create an economy for the young. And I do believe that our youth may not have equal talents, but should have equal opportunity and environment to grow their talents. I admire Honorable Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and Honorable Minister Kazmi visionary leadership and dedication to the development of youth.
St. Lucia hosted 40 Taiwanese youth ambassadors for a series of knowledge and cultural sharing engagements.
The reason that we organized this program and make this trip possible is because we believe that the youth is the future of the country. They shoulder the responsibility of the sustainability of the country. That's why we've set the theme for this year as Youth Innovation, Taiwan and Saint Lucia Tech Action.
The Youth Forum advances the mandate of the Ministry of Youth Development. It facilitates capacity building initiatives and technical cooperation between St. Lucia and Taiwan on youth development.
Our government has been working feverishly to tackle some of the issues of youth unemployment, and we've been successful under the stewardship of Honorable Prime Minister to have one of the biggest reductions in unemployment in our nation's history as we are currently experiencing. And one of the ways the Prime Minister has identified, and the Ministry of Youth Development and Sport has truly identified of tackling the issues of unemployment is through investing in our nation's youth.
On September 7th, the Youth Economy Agency signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Taiwan Technical Mission to continue exploring opportunities to strengthen cooperation on youth policies.
Meanwhile, 40 students from the Republic of China, Taiwan, began a week-long youth exchange program here with a musical exhibition at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Virgil Leonti has the story.
Students from the Republic of China, Taiwan have started displaying their skills at the start of an International Youth Ambassadors Exchange program. The program will run until September 9th and will include a cultural camp, a courtesy call to Parliament, and a Taiwan St. Lucia Cultural Night. Sir Arthur Lewis Community College is the first stop in the week of cross-cultural activities. The visiting creative arts students are showcasing their musical talent to their counterparts at the college. Using traditional instruments, the visiting students are treating their host to an interlude of mellow music. And not to seem upstaged, creative arts students of Sir Arthur spice things up with a traditional song and dance. Head of the Department of Digital Humanities, New Media and Creative Industries, Dr. Jani Joseph, says this interaction is invaluable for her students.
What we hope to gain from this, honestly, is that our students will be inspired. They will also learn about other cultural forms other than their own. They will also share with the Taiwanese students what they know about Saint Lucian culture. And hopefully it will ignite their passion a bit more when it comes to their interest in the creative and performing arts.
One of the highlights of the exchange is a Taiwan St. Lucia Cultural and Culinary Evening on September 7th at the National Cultural Center. The students are collaborating on the menu and are excited for the evening. Casper Zai from Taiwan is looking forward to using local ingredients, while Gikela Urme of the Hospitality Division of Sir Arthur Lewis feels privileged to be part of this historic exchange.
What we are looking forward is that we can learn from this time's experience, and we can adjust local ingredients, like how do we use local ingredients, and also to know more about the environment, the crops, the ingredients.
We also do international courses where we learn different cooking methods and cuisines from Mediterranean, Italy, Greece, French. learn different skills, different menus, and we learn to cook them up in the pastry or down in the kitchen at Safa.
This is the second time such an exchange is happening between students of the two countries. Taiwan's ambassador believes it's a reflection of shared values and mutual understanding. According to His Excellency Peter Chen, this cultural exchange will deepen cooperation between the two countries. Sir Arthur Lewis Community College's Vice Principal, Dr. Winston Filjas, welcomed the students. He says, given the history of the college as a war fort, the college is the perfect place for this young people's exchange.
So our campus today is a place that used to be a place of war. I think you will find it to be one of the most historic campuses and a very beautiful place. Its beauty, however, hides the past in which men used war to settle disagreements. In that regard, I think it is fitting that the youth forum in which young people of our nations meet to share thoughts and ideas can be exposed to each other's culture is happening on such a campus, where a place of war becomes now a place of peace and cultural exchange.
The theme for this year's Youth Exchange program is Youth Innovation, Taiwan and Saint Lucia Take Action. From the Government Information Service, I am Virgil Leonti reporting.
The Upton Garden Girls Center is exploring the reshaping of its operations to meet the needs of its primary target group of adolescent girls in St. Lucia. On August 8, 2023, staff of the Educational and Behavioral Change Institution met with a wide cross-section of stakeholders for a strategic review of its functioning and operations. John Emmanuel tells us more.
Additional moves towards the Upton Gardens Girls Center becoming the leading catalyst for change for adolescent girls in St. Lucia have taken place. On August 8, 2023, staff of the Educational and Behavioral Change Institution met with a wide cross-section of stakeholders for a strategic review of its functioning and operations. Present at the meeting of minds seeking solutions outside of the box were Ministry of Education officials, social workers, St. Lucia Social Development Fund SSDF personnel, youth representatives and others, along with Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment officials, under whose jurisdiction the center falls. Resident social worker at the New Beginnings Transit Home, Eleanor Monrose Henry, a sister agency that works in tandem with the Upton Gardens Girls Center, says stakeholder participation is critical to achieve developmental continuity.
Basically, my agency works closely with the Upton Garden Girls Center. So it is very important that we are part of this workshop to plan the way forward for our girls and to provide the necessary support that they will need.
Recently appointed Director Olympia Piper Cools Vitalis says coming out of the exercise will be a practical 3 to 5 year comprehensive strategic plan that will guide the institution's operations moving forward.
The aim of reviewing our objectives and our strategic plan is to explore where we are at, what are the challenges, and how do we have this phenomenal product at the Upton Gardens Girls Center packaged in a manner that persons in our society would see it as a valuable resource to access for their adolescent females.
Along with reviewing the center's diverse academic offerings, other vital areas placed under the microscope as part of the strategic consultation were the income-generating aspect of the center, strengthening family engagement, and overall staff development. Center personnel say the old stigma of the institution being a place for wayward girls must also be dispelled. The Upton Gardens Girls Center seeks to empower and support young females ages 12 to 18 years experiencing challenges.
When we come back, Sufa residents benefit from a roofing project. The Ministry of Equity leverages WIRI to strengthen social protection support systems, and another milestone achieved for St. Lucia's Collateral Registry project.
So you all must collect data from everybody on the island?
Yes, of course.
Everyone counts. We will visit every household. The information is important for government's plan for housing, healthcare, and education services. And the information is also useful for the expansion of business activities.
Oh, really? I didn't think of that.
Thank you for staying with us. Approximately 80 households in the community of Palmist Soufrière have benefited from a roofing project. This initiative saw the replacement of all old roofs in the community to secure residents from the elements and at the same time created much-needed employment for residents of the community. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
On Wednesday, September 13th, the first phase of the Palmist roofing project commenced. This initiative, spearheaded by the Member of Parliament for Soufrière, promises multiple benefits to the community, ranging from employment opportunities for local youth to improved housing conditions for residents. The contractor on the project, Darrell Thomas, says this initiative was overdue and has brought renewed hope to the community of Palmist.
So basically what we're doing is changing the old galvanized roof or the structures in Palmist. We have 3 subcontractors. We started today Wednesday. So we'll probably last like 2 weeks max. Finish probably 82 houses. Changing the galvanized, some bad posts, 2x4s, whatever the people wants to be changed on their houses. Yeah, that's basically it. So right now there we have 4 groups. Basically each group have like 6 workers employed. So at least we have something good going on in the community. At least we have the guys engaged, the young fellas in the community engaged, have something doing instead of staying idle. I think it's a good initiative from the district. I can say like the people of Palmist needed that. So basically now you can say when it's raining, Palmist people don't have to put their heads outside or put blocks on the roofs or anything. So I guess it's a good initiative moving forward. We want to thank the Labour Party and the district rep.
As the roofs and posts of these houses are replaced, the project is expected to not only provide much-needed jobs, but also contribute to the overall beautification and modernization of the community. Member of Parliament for Soufrière-Forcé-Jacques, Emma Hippolyte, expressed her commitment to improving the lives of all her constituents.
As the rainy season, persons are coming to my constituency saying they need assistance to repair this, that, and the other. I felt I just needed to do it as a whole. And as well, after the heavy storm, Brett, the block that is covered with asbestos, what I would call the black stone block, maybe 1 or 2 units there got damaged. So again, that really caused us to act urgently. And maybe within the next 2 weeks, what we're going to do is to focus on phase 2 of the project, which is the removal, the safe removal of all asbestos, not only those that are damaged, all asbestos in the black stone block and replace them with completely new roofing.
The project has been met with enthusiasm from the local population. The project is also expected to raise the standard of living for Palmist residents, ensuring safer and more comfortable housing. One resident, Joseph Valence Abel, expressed immense gratitude for the project.
We try our best to put that in good condition because the way it was, the process, it wasn't good at all. Now we have the priority to make it right. So we try our best to make it the right way. And we thank the minister, we thank she a lot for she to get this work be going today. Which means everybody appreciate it, young and old. The young one appreciate it as well, they get in their day's work to be done. The old one, they have a proper shelter now, they can't get wet. Which best we want? We don't want nothing else again, we're good to go.
As work on the roofing project continues, residents say they are excited to see what other initiatives are in the pipeline. From Soufriere FM, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
In a groundbreaking initiative, Wyrie is paving the way to unlock the untapped potential and capacity of our youth by fostering an environment that empowers them to acquire essential skills and drive transformative change. Chevroy Marius reports.
Social protection officers can now better assess social protection support services and create resilient pathways for community residents by leveraging support from the Youth Resilience, Inclusion and Empowerment Program, WIRE. Initiated in 2022 by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, the WIRE aims to enhance community and family support systems for youth at risk by using evidence-based learning methods, referral systems evaluations, community mapping surveys, mental health and psychosocial support services, and a sustainable social protection system. Community Services Acting Deputy Director Kendall Elver stated that the referral system assessment and community mapping processes will help social transformation officers assess community needs, allocate resources, and implement social support interventions for the most vulnerable in society.
Social transformation officers are required to foster community development by resolving the issues adversely affecting the residents of these communities. With the unveiling of the referral assessment process and the community mapping survey, SUs can better assess the structures and operations of social, health, and justice services for at-risk families and youth. The second phase implemented was community mapping.
Community Services Acting Deputy Director Kendall Elver. The WIRE aims to build youth potential and capacity by fostering an enabling environment for youth to develop their strengths and contribute to positive change. The WIRE program has supported over 300 youths in Castries Central, Grosley, Canaries, and the Vieux Fort regions. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Chevroy Marius.
The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, NCPC, is pleased with the progress made thus far in launching St. Lucia's Collateral Registry of Movable Assets. This registry will allow financial institutions the ability to offer new and innovative credit products to the MSME sector to expand their business operations while stimulating national economic growth and development. More in this report from Glenn Simon.
St. Lucia's Collateral Registry of Movable Assets has reached another milestone in the implementation phase. The Collateral Registry is an online database of movable assets that supports the security interest in Movable Properties Act passed in Parliament in 2022. The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, NCPC, has spearheaded the coordination and implementation of this legislative reform, which is projected to boost economic activity in St. Lucia by making access to finance easier for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Economist and project lead at the NCPC, Shamal Matre, highlighted the significance of this phase of the project.
We are very well pleased to be at this juncture. Of course, this project entails two phases, the development of the software as well as the installation of the hardware, and things are happening. The equipment is being delivered, the hardware is being installed today, and we are very thankful to the officials at the Ministry of Tourism, particularly the OECS Regional Tourism Competitiveness Project, for providing the funding of this aspect of the project.
Toyle Lagon, Tourism Projects Coordinator at the OECS Regional Tourism Competitiveness Project, ORTCP, said this is but one of the activities funded by the project, but it is one that is highly anticipated to provide tremendous opportunities for many St. Lucians.
Under this project, what we seek to do is to increase opportunities for the self-employed individual who wishes to earn their living within the tourism sector. How this factors into the tourism sector is that the movable assets registry allows for persons who do not have fixed assets to be able to have the opportunity to invest, self-invest.
Pedro Seuss, General Director of iOS Soft, the company contracted to install and set up the hardware component of the collateral registry, noted that this represents phase 2 of the project.
We will have the installation today. We will have the reception of the equipment. We will physically validate that we received the equipment. The equipment is being receptioned by 3 agencies, 3 organizations, and once it's received, then we will proceed the date of today to do the installation here and in the second site. We work with our partner, our local supplier. His name is Computer World. It's a well-reputable company here in the island, and they're very professional. They are delivering everything in the right conditions, and like you see, it's a brand new equipment. Everything is in the right conditions that have to be delivered.
Daniel Francis, Registrar at the Eastern Caribbean Court of Justice and the High Court, said achieving this phase of the project means the project timelines are being maintained, which should lead to a successful outcome for the overall project.
What it means for us especially is an increased efficiency in the delivery of our services. The turnaround time for all of these related matters, the conduct of searches, retrieval of information regarding secured collateral, the entire process for registration has now been streamlined and made that much more accessible. And the 2 tenets that we strive on here are equality before the law and equal access to justice. And I think this is an incredible tool to allow for that.
The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council looks forward to the launch and full implementation of the Saint Lucia Collateral Registry of Movable Assets in the coming weeks. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
We've come to the end of this episode of Saint Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up. A huge thank you to all who contributed to the production of this program, the National Television Network, GIS team, and the communication teams of the various ministries. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us next month for another episode of Saint Lucia Magazine on NTN Channel 122 and the social media pages of the Government of Saint Lucia. Until next time, I am Nivalo Geese.
It's time for Saint Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.